Hi, here we are the group of three presenting the three cases. My name is Gurpreet Kaur. I'm presenting the case one. And my case is regarding identify and critically analyze the policies undertaken by the government of Australia and RBA, and also the examine how the impact of the identified policies are having on the unemployment, inflation, and output level. So, the government of Australia and Reserve Bank of Australia have undertaken various measures to tackle the economic recession caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. And in this, the two policies are taken by the government, and these policies include monetary policy and fiscal policy. First one is monetary policy. The RBA has lowered the cash rate to a lower record low of 0.1% and has committed to purchasing government bonds to support the economy. These measures aim to stimulate economic activity by making borrowing cheaper and increasing the money supply in the economy. Second one is fiscal policy. The government has introduced various stimulus measures such as the JobKeeper and Job Seeker programs, which provide financial support to individuals and business affected by the pandemic. Additionally, the government has also announced infrastructure investment and tax cuts to support the economy. And these policies have the impact on the following identified policies have impact on following like unemployment. The unemployment rate in Australia has risen because of the pandemic, but the government's support measures have helped to mitigate the rise and prevent a more severe increase in unemployment. The unemployment rate has begun to fall in recent months and is expected to improve as the economy recovers. Second impact is on inflation. The RBI's monetary policy measures have helped to keep inflation under control, as the low cash rate has led to lower borrowing costs, which has helped to keep a lid on inflationary pressures. Third one is output level. The economic recession caused by the pandemic has led to a decline in output, but the government's stimulus measures and the RBI's monetary policy measures have helped to mitigate the decline and support the recovery of the economy. The output level is expected to improve as the economy recovers. Cohen 2022. Sorry, 2020.
Hello, I am Ukara Sachin, and I am present to case two. The job keeper payment is a government program that provide financial support to low income worker and business affected by the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The program has in implication for the government expenditure is it increased the government spending to support the economy. Equilibrium level. The current equilibrium level of income in this economy can be determined by using the equation for aggregate demand and aggregate supply. Aggregate demand is the total amount of goods and service demand in the economy. It given price level, it can be represented by the following equation. AD equals to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. C equals to 800 plus 0.8 YD. I equals to 600. G equals to 1000. X equals to export. M equals to import. In this scenario, the equilibrium level of income can be calculated by setting AD equals to AS and solving for YD. AD equals to C plus I plus G plus X minus M equals to AS equals to Y FE 800 plus 0.8 YD plus 600 plus 1000 plus X minus M equals to 15,000 YD equals to 15,000 minus 24,000 sorry 2400 upon 0.8 equals to 50,750. Diagram. In the scenario, the potential level of output is respected by YFE equals to 15,000 million dollars, and the actual level of output is respected by YD equals to 15,750 million dollar. And the calculate the size of the output gap, okay, we can use the following formula. Output gap equals to YFP minus YD. Output gap equals to 15,000 minus 15,750. Output gap equals to 750 million dollars. This means that the economy is currently operating 625 million dollars below it potential level of output. Close the output gap. To close the output gap and achieve full employment, and the government need to increase aggregate demand by 750 million dollar. Since the government expenditure is one of the component of aggregate demand, the government need to increase the government spending by 750 million dollars. This increase in government spending can be done by expanding the job keeper payment program of by introduce new stimulus measure that support business and low increase the workers. The increase in government spending will lead to in increase in aggregate demand, which in turn will lead to in increase in output and employment. Government step. One way to do this by decrease tax. When tax decrease disposable income increase, which lead to in increase in consumption and investment. This increase in consumption and investment will lead to in increase in aggregate demand, which will help to close the output gap and boost output and employment. The government can also increase the tax to decrease aggregate demand by increase the tax disposable income decrease, which lead to in a decrease in consumption and investment. This decrease in consumption and investment will lead to decrease in aggregate demand and will help to close the output gap, but will also decrease the output and employment.
Hello, my name is Usha. I am here to present case study 3. This case is followed by the flowchart. First step of flowchart is the RBI decide to increase the cash rate in response to rising inflation. To increase the cash rate, the RBI engaged in open market operated by selling government security. Third one, the sale of government security decrease the money supply in the economy. Fourth is the decrease in money supply leads to an increase in interest rate. Fifth one, the increase in interest rate leads to an decrease in borrowing and spending, which help to control inflation. sorry. No, next is the changes in the cash rate. When the RBI increase the cash rate, other interest rate in the economy rate are likely to increase as well. This is because an increase in the cash rate makes borrowing more expensive, which leads to an increase in the cost of borrowing for business and households. This in turn leads to an increase in the interest rate and on loans such as mortgage and personal loan. Next is the changes in the cash rate. The impact of changes in the cash rate on other interest rate will depend on the level of competition and other factors in the market, as well as the rate at which the cash rate changed. The impact will also vary depending on the type of interest rate. For instance, long-term interest rate may not react as much as short-term interest rate to change in the cash rate. It's important to note that changes in the cash rate can also affect the exchange rate and the level of economic activity, such as investment, consumption, and GDP. Still will 2020. And last one is the reference from where we take all this information. Thank you.